This is a typical college love story.
Raven Abaroa and Janet Christensen met in college. They were both athletes, both very attractive, and he was smitten by her right away.
They got married at a very young age and decided to live their life together.
Hey everybody, Merry Christmas.
They look very happy. They look like a loving couple, the picture of the perfect marriage.
We wish you the best and the warmest feelings this holiday season. Janet, what would you like to say?
I would like to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
But just 3.5 years into their marriage, Raven tells Janet that he's having an affair.
And very soon after that, she found out she was pregnant.
Janet has to debate with herself. Do I stay with this person who has disrespected our vows, our covenant, or do I try to salvage what's left of my family?
He promised, swore up and down, that he would no longer cheat on her, that she was the only one for him, he would make it work. Soon after, Caden was born.
But one spring night, their story takes a turn for the worse.
Raven went off to play an indoor soccer game with his buddies and believed that Janet and their baby boy Caden would be going to bed.
Gets back at 10 o'clock, goes upstairs in their house and finds Janet covered in blood.
From 911, we're doing emergency. My wife is dead! She's been shot and there's blood everywhere. Shot? Yes. Okay, you're going to have to calm down. How old is your wife? She's 25. I'm sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line. I'll tell you exactly what to do. Can you tell how many times your wife has been shot? Like right in the chest.
There is another breaking story right now.
Just before 11 Tuesday night, Durham police are called to this Farron Drive home.
After responding to a call from the victim's husband, Raven Abaroa.
When they arrived, they find 25-year-old Janet Abaroa murdered. Police aren't saying how she was killed.
My parents were called, I think about 5 o'clock in the morning. And Raven was on the phone and they couldn't understand him. He was calling to tell them that Janet was dead and she had committed suicide.
We automatically knew that was not right. She wouldn't have done it to Kate.
No, she would have never killed herself, ever. We knew that wasn't true.
Friends tell us she was married with a newborn baby and was looking forward to life as a mother.
The police quickly learned that she stabbed multiple times, and that's what causes her death. She was not shot.
Investigators captured images inside the house. There are things out on the counter. In particular, her engagement ring and her wedding band are out. You see these pieces of potential evidence scattered throughout this home that's now become a crime scene. Noticeably absent is Raven's laptop, as well as a knife that went missing apparently that night.
Police immediately find that there are no signs of forced entry. No sign that anyone smashed a window to get in, broke down a door to get in.
No evidence of anybody else being in the home that wasn't supposed to be there.
Janet's sisters start playing detective. Like amateur sleuths, they discover some things that just don't add up.
He had taken out a life insurance policy soon after she was pregnant with Caden.
How much was the policy?
$500,000 on her.
Any doubt in your minds that Raven killed your sister?
No.
Raven goes on a local Fox program called NC Wanted. He makes clear that he's not the killer and that he wants Janet's case to be brought to justice.
The bottom line is that I wasn't involved with the death of my wife, that I would do anything in the world to keep her here with me.
While the investigation continues in North Carolina, Raven has already moved with his son to Utah.
Raven doesn't seem to be taking Janet's death too harshly. He's actually back on the dating scene.
He's started a relationship with a young woman named Vanessa Pond.
He seemed very upfront, very honest and genuine. And I found out that, he was a single father. And I really, really admired that.
Did he mention his wife or what happened to her?
Yes, as we were just starting to date. He just mentioned that, well, I should probably tell you, a lot of people think that my wife's not around because, she's a drug addict or she's crazy, but my wife actually died.
Did he say she was murdered?
He said that there was an intruder and that his wife was killed and that he'd found her. And he left it at that.
She expressed her concerns about his story, but says that he removed all doubts from her mind.
Soon after that, Raven asked my dad for my hand in marriage.
They go on their honeymoon in Vegas, and Vanessa recalls Raven talking about Janet. You're talking about your deceased wife on the evening of your honeymoon.
He started talking about Janet and how mad he was after she died. Not how sad, not how heartbroken, just mad. And then he cuddled up closer to me and he said, "I promise I'll never hurt you."
According to Vanessa, things start getting really bad.
He grabbed me from the door and threw me up against the wall, and then I fell. Later, he tried to convince me that I had tripped. The light just disappears from his eyes and he becomes another person. And that part is terrifying.
Are you convinced you would have been his next victim?
Yeah.
She soon filed for an annulment. Meanwhile, Janet's family stays strong in their belief that Raven murdered Janet. But 4 years go by without an arrest.
The family's very frustrated. The sisters decide to turn up the heat on this very cold case, so they sit down with me on ABC's Primetime Crime.
Cases that seem impossible to crack. Crimes that seem impossible to solve. That's why there's Primetime Crime.
He's out free, out there.
Yes, he is.
Doing what he wants.
Yes, he is.
The very next day, we get a call from the Durham Police Department saying we've assigned a new detective to the case.
I kind of studied Raven. I mean, he's certainly a narcissist, and I played the dumb Southern cop, and he ate it up.
What's sort of odd is that Raven records his conversations with Detective Soul, and this is sort of predates the social media selfie video time that we live, but he's literally shooting video of himself and then offering courtside commentary.
I feel myself getting frustrated. I'm not 100% sure why. You know, the more stuff I give them, the more stuff that gets leaked.
He was unnerved by these conversations. He knew this detective was drilling into things that hadn't been scrutinized that closely before.
I need to win the lottery. You know, if I were to win $3 million, I would dedicate $2 million to fighting this. 2/3 of my winnings, if you would. And to make Janet's name more recognized at Southern Virginia.
I thought it was very bizarre that he talks about, I need to win the lottery. Oh, by the way, I would do something for Janet as well. So, come on.
Detective Soul then pours through all the old evidence, looking for new clues.
The first thing I'm looking at is, well, her contact lens case is open. I said to myself, well, if she's ready to go to bed, you know, and she still has her contacts in, you know, that's unusual.
That gives him a hunch that maybe Raven Abaroa's story about Janet going to bed before he left for that soccer game may not be the case.
The only way for detectives to find out if Janet was wearing her contact lenses when she was killed is to exhume her body.
It definitely seemed like Detective Soul was digging deep, literally and figuratively speaking.
Detective Soul comes face to face with the victim, looking for a piece of evidence that can only be uncovered by looking directly into Janet's eyes.
Stay with us.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.